And now we welcome the Director General of iLead, Mr. Abdullah bin Hassan, the Director of Leadership Cluster, Dr. Hanafi bin Harun, and iLead officers to enter the hall. Please be seated. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Warm greetings to Mr. Abdullah Hassan, the Director General of Institute of Leadership Excellence and Development, iLead, Ministry of Youth and Sports, KBS. Our special guest from Japan Future Leader School, Madam Akiko Kato, Japan Future Leader School, JFLS alumni, and Malaysia Future Leader School, MFLS alumni, distinguished participants and online viewers from Japan and Malaysia, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome and thank you for joining us for the Malaysia-Japan Future Leaders Dialogue organized by iLead KBS in collaboration with JFLS held on 20th September 2020 here in Damarsari Hall 3, Parcel F, Putrajaya, Malaysia. In a short while, we will start the opening ceremony with keynote speech from Mr. Abdullah bin Hassan, Director General of iLead, speech from Madam Akiko Kato, one of the founders of Japan Future Leader School, followed by the speech from both MFLS and JFLS alumni. Then, all participants will be divided into 4 groups to discuss the theme of the dialogue. A representative of each group will present their group findings at the plenary session. Before we proceed, let me introduce you organizers of our event today. This program is co-hosted by JFLS and iLead. JFLS is the provider for the leadership training seminar, which train high school students in Japan, aiming to be the catalyst for social change and potential future leaders. Meanwhile, Institute of Leadership Excellence and Development, iLead, on the other hand, a department established under KBS which is entrusted to design and implement youth empowerment programs in order to form future-ready leaders which will be equipped with the leadership foundation covering 5 basic elements, namely leadership, statehood, character and identity building, volunteerism, and entrepreneurship. iLead, in collaboration with Japan Future Leader School, is organizing a mixed-mode dialogue session leveraging technology enhancement and adoption of Industrial Revolution 4.0. The theme of this dialogue is how future generation could change the society in post-COVID-19 world. The objectives of this dialogue are to support the Sustainable Development Goals, 17, Partnership for Goals, to share views and opinions while implementing youth development programs in the field of leadership at the international level, and to establish a synergistic relationship between MFLS alumni and JFLS alumni. Today, we have 170 participants from Japan Future Leader Schools alumni in Japan and 80 participants from Malaysia Future Leader School alumni here in Putrajaya, Malaysia, ready to share their brilliant thoughts as youth who will shape the future. We are also broadcasting live at iLead KBS official Facebook page. We would like to encourage you to share this session to your family and friends through Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Without further ado, I would like to invite Mr. Abdullah bin Hassan, the Director of iLead, to deliver his opening remark for this program.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And a very good morning. Thank you, Ms. Liz, am I right? A very good morning to distinguished guests and everyone who present and viewing Malaysia-Japan Future Leaders Dialogue via online. First and foremost, I would like to express my appreciation and gratitude to Ms. Akiko Kato, who assist us to ensure that this dialogue program possible. On behalf of the Ministry of Youth and Sport Malaysia, I would like to thank Japan Future Leaders School as well as Japanese government for their effective planning and coordination of the Malaysia-Japan Future Leaders Dialogue today. Ladies and gentlemen, year 2020, which is this year, mark the 63 years establishment of diplomatic relations between Malaysia and Japan. Malaysia initiated a policy to learn from the experiences of Japan in the nation building of Malaysia in the 1980s, which called Look East policy. And Malaysia considered that the secret of Japan's government success and its remarkable development lies in its labor ethics, morale, and management capability. So we felt a program that enabling that young Malaysian to learn in Japan would contribute to economic and social development of Malaysia. So for this purpose, Malaysia decided to dispatch their students to Japan and to study not only academics and technical know-how, but also to learn labor ethics and discipline. So the program consists of two parts. The first is to send Malaysian students to the Japanese universities and institutes of technology. And the second one is to send trainees to Japanese industries and training institutes. These programs are funded by both Malaysian and Japanese government. And not only that, the Japanese government are very helpful as well to send their teachers from Japan to Malaysia and also by sharing part of its cost. So it has been, the policy has been conducted since 1980s. So, and until to date, the Look East policy program is still on and it benefiting many Malaysians, not only tertiary education students, but also government officials as well as those from the industries. I think we had a few online sessions before. Dato Zulkifli, actually one of the pioneer in this policy program, and I think we still have his talk online in the via Facebook Live. So I hope that you can enjoy his talk on how Malaysian can learn from Japanese culture as well as work ethics. Ladies and gentlemen, the coronavirus has disrupted travel plans globally as lockdown measures keep much of the world's population at home during some of the peak seasons for traveling. To limit the spread of COVID-19, most countries and territories worldwide have imposed measures that restrict or deter people from entering their respective borders. Never before in the history has international travel been restricted in such an extreme manner. I'm sure that you all aware that every 100 years there will be epidemic. However, 2020 coronavirus outbreak seems to be very effective in its nature, and every countries are very aware of and take strict measures to deter and trying to curb from the virus to spread. We can see that flight suspension to border closures and massive shutdown has cost countries billions of tourism dollars. In fact, Malaysia alone faced a very serious casualties in tourism industries. And right after the 3 months lockdown, we try to encourage domestic tourism to flourish as maximum as possible so that the industry can still continue on helping providing job opportunities as well as income to the nation. Despite the coronavirus challenges, youth development agenda must continue. I think ILEAD took quite an extensive measures to explore online opportunities, online programs to all youth, to make sure that the development program agenda for youth will still continue, though we are facing a coronavirus outbreak. A lot of online seminars offers to the people recently. Today, we also joined the mainstream to have an online program that we call Malaysia-Japan Future Leaders Dialogue. We suppose our Tier 3 MFLS this year, 100 students supposed to have the opportunities to visit Japan last April. However, due to the outbreak of coronavirus, we have to call off the program. And thank you, Liz. And as an option, we provide today's dialogue to give the opportunity to our fellow Malaysian youth as well as Japan Future Leaders participants to connect, to discuss and share views and thoughts today. So I hope that this program will bring not only ideas, creativities, but also for us to make new friends and create networkings between Malaysia and Japan. So as the alternative of the visit, today's dialogue is a good platform for the future leaders from both countries to express and discuss way forward of the countries at international level. The dialogue aims to improve understanding of the concept of sustainable development goal, providing a platform to share views and options on the implementation of future leaders development program, and also to enhance international collaboration between future leaders of Malaysia and Japan. This inaugural dialogue will provide substantial inputs for the preparation of development prominent future leaders. Hopefully that at the end of this dialogue session, all participants will be the agents of change for the better future at their respective communities. Ladies and gentlemen, leadership is inherently viewed as positive and good. The reality, of course, is something quite different. There are good leaders and there are also bad ones, male or female. There are those who believe that any action by leaders is better than no action at all. This is wishful thinking and absolute nonsense. We need good leaders to help guide us and make the essential large-scale decisions that keep the world moving. Young leaders are important because they are the next generation of the leadership in the workforce and the communities. Leaders should equip themselves with skills, with necessary skills to guide others, influence opinions and policies, and become as role model for their peers and younger generations. I would like to quote what Atini Nyatela said at the United Nations Sustainable Development Summit in September 2015. She said that now is the time that we stop having a conversation about how we involve young people or how young people participate in the process. Now is the time that we all commit to partnering with young people and see young people not only as beneficiaries, but as equal partners. If we fail to prepare our young leaders of today, it seems like we fail to prepare a full development of our countries in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my belief that our dialogue session today will be a fruitful discussion, and this collaboration is also intended to strengthen the ties of friendship between the future leaders of Malaysia and Japan. The Ministry is looking forward to have a closer collaboration and work together to enhance the existing relationship to a higher level for the mutual benefit and future leaders of both countries. Ladies and gentlemen, with that, I would like to thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you for the encouraging speech, sir. Next, I would like to invite Madam Akiko Kato as one of the founders of JFLS to deliver her speech.
Hello, everybody. Mr. Abdullah Hassan, Director General of ILEAD, all members of Malaysia and Japan Future Leaders School, thank you very much for participating for today. Japan Future Leaders School is an NGO supported by local governments and business community in Japan. It was first started in summer 2004 in Fukuoka as a 2-week summer school to educate high school students to become future leaders in goodwill. We have about 3,000 alumni. Students usually stay for 2 weeks in nature-surrounded dormitories in Fukuoka, Japan. It is located in the southern part of Japan. However, this year we are conducting online for 2 months on weekends due to COVID-19 starting from early August. Every year, about 25 lecturers come to Fukuoka to share their knowledge and experience with the students. Scholars who represent the top of such fields as international studies, Japanese history and culture, as well as business leader, astronaut, athlete, and artists, and medical doctors, especially this year because of COVID-19, are the lecturers. The student will ask questions and then we do discussions. We also have a special program for students to design Future Asia, which is called Asia High School Summit. This program is not only to imagine the future, but make action plan to realize what they would like the world to be. This year, the theme is how to transform society from with COVID-19 to post-COVID-19. New proposal from high school students. We divided 174 students to 8 groups. They are focusing the discussion on the area of education, economic disparity, communication, and tourism. What kind of society we want to create after COVID-19? One group came up to a very unique idea, how to create our Earth into the place where aliens from outer space think it is really cool. I hope discussion today will be fruitful. We from the Japanese side would like to learn from you Malaysians today. You are living with harmony between Malay, Chinese, and Indians and other ethics. I strongly hope after Corona, the world will be more better world without any conflicts. I hope to welcome all of you from MFLS alumni next year to Japan to have live discussion. And then we can laugh together, and then we can think together. I think it's much more better to be in the one place to have discussions. So I'm really looking forward to the discussion today. Thank you so much.
Such an inspiring speech, Madam Akiko. Domo arigato gozaimasu.
Terima kasih.
Okay, now is it time for us to listen to the future leaders from Malaysia. Please welcome Ms. Chewa Nur Hazwani binti Abdul Latif to deliver her speech.
In Malaysia Future Leader School. It focuses on crucial elements which are needed for an individual, especially the youth, in contributing to the country. Whereas in Tier 3, there are some new elements have been added to deem perfection in order to build the which are leadership, nationhood, character building, entrepreneurship, and internationalization. These elements have been implemented to boost the engagement of our youth with large-scale issues such as diplomatic relation with other countries. Due to this pandemic that is happening right now, unfortunately, that we didn't get a chance to do a real-life discussion or real-life engagement with Japan, with the delegates of Japan Future Leader School. Since Malaysia Future Leader School is inspired by Japan Future Leader School, of course, we really hope that we can have a real-life engagement with Japan Future Leader School when the pandemic has lessened, and also when we are able to fly to Japan. That's what we really hope. Since for alumni Malaysia Future Leader School, when Tier 2 and Tier 3 end, we don't just stop there because we have a we have Angkatan Belia Malaysia Future Leader School, Angkatan Belia MFLS, which is non-government organization. And as ABM members, we really hope that in future, ABM will be involved in ministries program like Bulan Sukai Negara. We really hope that in future. And also as alumni of Malaysia Future Leader School, we really hope that Malaysia Future Leader School syllabus to improve more to maximize the potential of the Malaysian youth. Last but not least, we really hope that even though some youth didn't participate in Malaysia Future Leader School, we hope that they still can participate in Malaysia Future Leader School and Angkatan Belia MFLS activities. I hope that during this session we can learn more and exchange more ideas and some good thoughts to get the best, for us to get the best solution to the country, and also to create the best for us to be the best country in the world. I will end my speech with a quote from John Maxwell, and he said that a leader is one who knows the way, goes the ways, and shows the way. So today we have to know the way, goes the ways, follows the ways, and shows the way to other people. Thank you.
Thank you for the impressive speech. We've listened to youth aspiration from Malaysia. let the counterpart from Japan to share his or her thoughts. I would like to invite representative from Japan Future Leader School alumni to deliver his or her speech.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we do.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. It is my honor to have a chance talking with you in this opening session. My name is Nayuko Iden. I'm from Okayama High School. Today, we are so excited to be able to have such an amazing opportunity to exchange our knowledge, experiences and opinions with alumni of Malaysia Future Leader School, even though we cannot gather at Fukuoka under this circumstance. And before this program, we students from Japan Future Leader School have been participating in this program since the beginning of August. During this program, we had valuable lectures by well-known entrepreneurs, politicians, and professors, plus wonderful discussions as Asia High School Summit. By taking lectures, I could gain new knowledge about these fields and deepen my understandings through believing my peers and the spirit of never give up through the Asia High School Summit program. And again today, in this Japan-Malaysia exchange program, I hope we have a meaningful discussions and understand each other about our values and perspectives. Even we have a language barrier, we can make it by supporting each other. I am pretty sure this is how our leadership works. Let's make this day unforgettable day. Japan Future Leader School representative Nayuko Iden. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Nayuko, for the speech. We do share common goals. Just a little housekeeping before we start. Today's session will be available on @iLead KBS official Facebook page after the live session ended and accessible through the same link you are using now. If you have any questions during the presentation, please send them into the comment box. We'll be answering the questions at the end of the session. And lastly, we'd like to encourage you to share today's session via your social media channels. Thank you.
Selamat datang ke Kompleks Kerajaan Pasar F. Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, anda kini berada di aras 3, fasiliti guna sama Blok F8, iaitu Dewan Damansari 3. Untuk makluman, Dewan ini mempunyai 4 pintu kecemasan di bahagian hadapan dan belakang. Keseluruhan bangunan ini dilengkapi dengan silinder pemadam api, alat pacu basah, pengesan haba dan asap, sistem penggera serta sistem makluman kecemasan. Sekiranya penggera dibunyikan secara berterusan beserta pengumuman pengusian bangunan, sila keluar dari ruangan ini dengan tertib dan pantas. Anda diminta bertenang dan tidak panik. Sila ikuti arahan dari pasukan tindak balas kecemasan kami. Mereka akan menunjukkan laluan selamat ke tempat berkumpul yang telah ditetapkan. Semasa proses pengusian bangunan, penggunaan lift dan eskalator adalah dilarang sama sekali. Sila gunakan tangga kecemasan. Terima kasih di atas perhatian anda. Keselamatan anda adalah keutamaan kami.
Saya berasa gembira kerana anak saya diberi peluang untuk masuk dalam program ini.
Dia boleh jadi berdisiplin, dia boleh bercara bermoral dengan orang.
Saya menyeru kepada ibu bapa di luar sana, berilah sokongan kepada anak-anak untuk menyertai IELTS ini sebab program yang terdapat di dalam IELTS ini adalah sangat bagus kepada anak-anak zaman Gen Z sekarang ini.
The COVID-19 crisis has affected societies and economies around the world. It changes our ways of life, adapting to the new norm. For the upcoming session, we will conduct a group discussion to cover the theme of this program entitled How Future Generation Could Change the Society in Post-COVID-19 World. All participants will be divided into 4 groups to discuss the theme in the field of education, communication, economy, and business. Each group will have 60 minutes to discuss on the topic. Afterwards, each group will be given 8 minutes to present the group findings. Kindly include your views and how do you see yourself contributing towards the society in post-COVID-19 world. If you need assistance, do not hesitate to refer to the moderator. Thank you. Hello, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing. Okay.
Good morning, Japanese students. So it's the end of the opening session. So please move to the breakout session. So please follow the. はい。もうオープニングセッションが終わりましたので、分科会の方に移動してください。このズームは抜けちゃって大丈夫です。
Nak interview Mike. Interview budak.
Yang dia minta call mic 2 kat bawah tu. Dekat meja belakang. Oh, dapat.
Yang awak pakai ni untuk mic Facebook.
Okay.
Nanti mic tu untuk Dewan.
Okay.
Test, mic 1, 2. Test.
Bukan, untuk dia juga, untuk siapa dia nak interview.
あ、日本の次世代リーダー塾の学生の皆様、分科会の方に移動していただけると幸いです。
Bagi tahu mana satu dulu.
Boleh.
Tunjuk dulu mana.
Kita tunjuk.
そうです。ここ抜けていただいて、私がつけとけば。今残られているリーダー塾の方は、自分の分科会の方に移動をお願いします。このズームは退出いただいて大丈夫です。
Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera semua. Hari ini kita berada di Damarsari Hall 3 di Putrajaya, Malaysia, bangunan blok F8 untuk program Malaysia Japan Future Leaders Dialogue ya. Okey, so hari ini kita ada tetamu istimewa daripada ILEAD iaitu Datuk Roslan, merupakan TKP ya ILEAD, Datuk Roslan. So untuk yang saya nak bertanya sedikitlah dengan Datuk, apa yang Datuk expect, ekspektasi Datuk terhadap program gabungan dengan Japan, Malaysia dan Japan?
Okey, saya berharap, Malaysia berharap kita dapat melahirkan pemimpin-pemimpin yang masa depan, yang berkaliber, yang akan merupakan pasak kepada pemimpinan akan datang. Dengan cara mereka bertukar-tukar pandangan dengan JFLS, mereka akan dapat ilmu, pengalaman dan juga pandangan daripada pelajar-pelajar di negara Jepun tentang kemajuan, tentang pembangunan. Dan kita bagi mereka dari segi kumpulan ekonomi, pelajaran, apa lagi, bisnes dan komunikasi. Supaya inilah 4 sektor yang saya rasa boleh melonjakkan negara kita sehebat negara Jepun. Kita faham Jepun merupakan sebuah negara maju yang jauh ke depan meninggalkan negara-negara Asia yang lain, dan kita tidak mau tinggal ke belakang. Kalau boleh kita duduk sama rendah, berdiri sama tinggi dengan negara Jepun.
Okay, thank you Dato'. Okay Dato', last question tahun yang terakhir. Rasa-rasanya tahun depan kita dapat tak pergi Jepun ni?
InsyaAllah. Kita harap vaksin tu dapat ditemui.
Amin. Okay, thank you Dato'. Okay, terima kasih.
Sama-sama.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Ha?
In the country, Western business were affected seriously. There are quite a few restaurants which were forced to close. Frozen businesses. Related to festival or cultural events were affected too much in the city. And there are limited festivals, memories, in the northern part of the state. And which is held in summer, and usually over 2 million tourists come and see it. But because of COVID-19, this year the festival wasn't held, and in other words, we lost the important revenue source. And like this, most Japanese big festival won't held in this year. So it's been at least a big problem.
So, soalan yang saya tanya, sekejap dulu. Soalan yang saya tanya nanti, apa respon Encik Abdullah secara umum tentang program ni, and then apa harapan yang Encik Abdullah expect daripada program ni lah dan akan datang. Boleh? Okey. Okay. Tak bising kah di sini? Tak bising? Betul? Okey. Macam mana? Okey. Okey. Ready ya? Ready in 3, 2, 1. Assalamualaikum dan kembali lagi saya di sini Farliza daripada iLead. So hari ini kita ada lagi another VIP, tetamu istimewa daripada iLead iaitu Ketua Pengarah iLead sendiri, Encik Abdullah bin Hassan. Encik Abdullah, apa khabar hari ini? Okay.
Alhamdulillah bagus.
Alhamdulillah. Okey, so saya ada beberapa soalan untuk Encik Abdullah lah. Soalan saya yang pertama adalah apakah respon Encik Abdullah secara umum tentang program ini?
Okey, kita cuba sebaik mungkin untuk menyediakan platform bagi pembangunan anak muda, dan kita tahu bahawa dalam senario COVID-19 ini bersemuka program yang melibatkan bersemuka adalah terhad dan di atas SOP keselamatan. Jadi kita harap dengan menyediakan platform secara atas talian akan memberi inisiatif yang lebih banyak kepada anak muda untuk terus dibangunkan, dan kita faham bahawa penglibatan anak muda ni adalah merupakan sesuatu yang amat kita harapkan supaya mereka bukan sahaja dapat dibangunkan tetapi juga turut melibatkan diri dalam apa jua program dan aktiviti supaya komuniti kita dapat manfaat daripada mereka.
Terima kasih Encik Abdullah. Ada satu lagi soalan lah. Okey, secara keseluruhan Encik Abdullah, apakah aspirasi Encik Abdullah selepas daripada program ini?
Kita mengharapkan bahawa kita dapat menyediakan lebih ramai pemimpin-pemimpin di kalangan anak muda supaya mereka ni kita percaya pada satu hari nanti akan menjadi salah seorang, kalau tak ramai pun salah seorang yang akan memimpin komuniti masing-masing. Sekiranya mereka lebih berjaya dapat memimpin negara adalah merupakan satu pencapaian yang besar, tetapi kita percaya setiap orang daripada kita adalah pemimpin dan kita mahukan supaya anak muda ini terus aktif dan bersama dengan komuniti. Kita jaga kita.
Okey, kita jaga kita. Malaysia prihatin. Terima kasih Encik Abdullah. Thank you so much. Okey, baiklah itu saja. Nanti kita akan pergi lagi, tanya lagi beberapa lagi students. And also pegawai-pegawai yang terlibat untuk orang kata minta respon mereka terhadap program ini. Terima kasih. Okey, so sekarang ni ada bersama saya bos saya sendiri iaitu pengarah kluster kepimpinan iLead, Dr. Hanafi bin Harun. Apa khabar doktor?
Baik, alhamdulillah, terima kasih.
Alhamdulillah. Okey, so saya ada beberapa soalan untuk doktor. Soalan pertama saya adalah memandangkan program ini merupakan program doktor sendiri, betul? Apakah perancangan untuk masa akan datang untuk mengadakan program yang sebeginilah, kolaborasi seperti begini?
Terima kasih Liz. Untuk makluman, program ini adalah salah satu elemen dalam program J3 iaitu pengantarbangsaan. Dan untuk tahun ini sepatutnya kita mengadakan program ini di Jepun. Tetapi atas sebab pandemik COVID-19 kita tidak dapat laksanakan, maka kita laksanakan dalam bentuk secara online. InsyaAllah memang ada dalam perancangan kita sebab apa hasrat akhirnya kita nak lahirkan pemimpin-pemimpin daripada MF ini ialah untuk melahirkan pemimpin yang boleh berperanan di peringkat nasional dan antarabangsa. Jadi ini elemen pengantarbangsaan. Jadi untuk setakat ini kita mengaturkan perancangan untuk mengadakan dialog ini dengan Jepun. Dan untuk akan datang kita akan bincangkan lagi negara-negara lain atau peringkat antarabangsa lain yang kita akan aturkan dengan mengadakan perbincangan dengan pelbagai pihak.
Okay, thank you doktor. Ada satu lagi soalan doktor. Apakah respon doktor secara keseluruhan mengenai program ini? Bila doktor masuk je Dewan, apa perasaan doktor, apa respon?
Oh, saya sangat gembira sekali kerana memang hasrat kita nak mengadakan program dialog antara JFLS dengan MLS sudah lama. Kita tidak dapat bersemuka, tetapi walaupun tidak dapat bersemuka, itu tidak menghalang kita atas dasar norma baru. Jadi pada hari ini kita dapat lakukan secara online. Syukur alhamdulillah, saya sangat gembira kerana program ini akhirnya berjaya disanakan. Mana elemen antarabangsa ini dapat dilaksanakan pada pagi ini. Terima kasih.
Alhamdulillah. Terima kasih doktor atas sharing tadi tu. Okey, itu saja dari kami. Terima kasih. Thank you doktor. Okey.
Do you have any idea?
Okay. Ready? 1, 2, go. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Sekarang bersama saya adalah Encik Syukri, Ahmad Syukri Adnan, iaitu Ketua Penolong Pengarah I-Lead untuk kluster kepimpinan. Okay. So, saya ingin bertanya dengan Encik Syuk, sebagai seorang
Yeah, so basically, since Japan is also based on mostly on tourism, but we are also in the way of marketing and stuff, we are also getting affected by the US a lot because we were both families connected to each other. But I guess tourism is one of the things, and previous years were getting the results.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and good morning everyone, and welcome again to Malaysia-Japan Futures Dialogue program at Damansari Hall 3, Putrajaya, Malaysia. So today with me, one of the students from alumni MFLS, Mr. Shafiq Akram from Terengganu, Malaysia. So how are you? How are you? Are you okay? What is your response towards the COVID-19 situation?
Yeah, so hi, my name is Shafiq. So my response to this COVID-19 situation is it's very shocking so we need to have an MCO and stuff. So my response would be when I stay home, it was a great experience that since I'm a home person, So staying at home is exciting for me, but staying home for too long is just it gives me an idea that some kind of idea that youth should be actually have some initiation to improve themselves. So this their chance to have a long holiday, and with that long holiday, they can learn something from internet since we have a lot of connection.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so another question from me. Okay, so when you arrive at this hall, what is your first impression towards this program?
I was astonished. I never think that I can have a chance to be here in Future Leaders Dialogue between MFS and JFLS.
Okay.
So my first impression would be that I'm very glad to be here with other participants as well.
Okay.
And I'm very excited to meet alumni JFLS and have this kind of discussion. And this fruitful discussion actually sparks fire in my mind, where I can get a new idea to bring back to my friends and also tell them the story about how I be here.
Okay, thank you. So a final question from me. So overall, what do you expect from this program itself?
So I have a very high expectation on this program because this program itself is very international, collaborates between alumni MFLS and JFLS. So if we exchange ideas and give about our situation in Malaysia and Japan, and we exchange knowledge and thoughts with this kind of exchange, we can actually improve ourselves, both countries, and also we have a kind of friendly connection between them, and also we can also improve our country's team, and also we can actually give inspiration to the other youths to become better for our country.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Shafiq Akram from Terengganu, Malaysia, right? Okay, so are you now currently studying at any university or college?
I'm currently studying at Intek Shah Alam.
Okay, good luck for your education. Okay, I hope you will succeed and become the next future leader. Okay, thank you so much. That's all. Bye.
So then there's some steps that start virtual things. I like that idea. So in my hometown, there is a festival, or traditional festival. So now today we have Canada, so our festival has canceled now. So I want to enjoy the festival so that everyone in Japan or the world can enjoy to understand our culture. Also, we can connect each other about love for our
Okay, so the background information is that in Japan, we have a system that we can pay like extra money for like cities in Japan where you can choose which city you want to pay for, and then they will give back to you with some like
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Sekarang saya bersama Encik Ahmad Syamil. Okey, merupakan penolong pengarah kluster kepimpinan I-Lead. Okey, Encik Syamil apa khabar?
Sehat, alhamdulillah.
Okey, apakah respon Encik Syamil tentang program yang diadakan sewaktu PKP COVID-19 ni?
Alhamdulillah, program hari ini Malaysia Japan Future Leaders Dialogue berjalan seperti yang dirancang. So alhamdulillah kita ada 80 orang peserta daripada alumni MFLS dan difahamkan juga ada seramai 174 partisipan daripada Japan Future Leaders School. Dan mereka sekarang ni telah dibagikan kepada 4 grup yang membincangkan tentang ekonomi, business, communication and transportation. Alhamdulillah. So kita mengharapkan program ni supaya ini adalah kita linkkan mereka, sinergikan mereka di mana alumni MFLS buat pertama kalinya berjumpa dengan alumni Japan Future Leaders School. Pada perancangan awalnya kita mengharapkan mereka ni dapat kita hantar ke Jepun di mana mereka akan bersemuka, tapi sebab kita dilanda pandemik COVID-19, so medium platform online ni adalah yang dikatakan boleh digunakan dan bersesuaian untuk mencapai objektif sinergi, partnership in goals. Kalau kita tengok pada SDG Sustainable Development Goal, ini adalah salah satu yang SDG 17 tu adalah partnership in goal. So kita bersama-sama di mana Malaysia dan juga Jepun bersama-sama untuk melahirkan pemimpin belia pada masa akan datang.
Terima kasih Encik Syamil. Untuk pengetahuan viewers sekalian, Encik Syamil merupakan seorang tulang belakang untuk program ni. Dia yang manage and arrange almost orang kata everything they lead. Okay, very good. Program ni alhamdulillah berjalan dengan lancarnya. Dan finally ada final soalan daripada saya, soalan terakhir. Okay, adakah ada perancangan lain selain daripada program kolaborasi dengan Jepun ini? Adakah ada perancangan kolaborasi dengan negara lain?
Buat masa ni kita fokus dengan Japan. Kita memang ada perancangan awal di mana kalau ikutkan selepas dengan Japan kita ada beberapa few country. So kita namakan dia Malaysia Future Leaders Go Global. So antara negara yang kita tengah explore adalah pada ketika itu adalah Switzerland, New Zealand, dan juga ke United Kingdom dan beberapa lah. So kita sedang merangka untuk membuat perbincangan dengan partner counterpart yang bersesuaian, dan insyaAllah kalau diluluskan perancangan ni berjalan dengan lancar, kita akan ada sesi yang begini dengan partners di negara-negara lain, dan apabila pandemik dibuka berakhir nanti, mungkin kita akan dapat menghantar peserta-peserta ataupun alumni MFLS ini ke luar negara untuk bersama dengan counterpart kita di sana, insyaAllah.
InsyaAllah. Okay, so terima kasih Encik Syamil. Okay, semoga program ini berjalan dengan lancar. And I want to congratulate you sebab program ni orang kata memang so far student bagi feedback, memang orang kata berjalan lancar. Thank you so much ya Encik Syamil. Okay.
You don't actually have those questions. Okay, so let me just speak louder. So in Malaysia, does owners of the restaurants or owners of the tourism business get paid directly from the government, or are they getting physical help?
very close quality time.
Thank you. Could you please say that in front of like the whole group, like after the discussion?
In Malaysia, we have an alternate leave by the government, which is we have nice and publish it on the government website where many citizens can
Putrajaya for the Malaysia-Japan Future Leaders Dialogue Program. So with me here, kita ada dua orang pelajar alumni MFLS, Miss Durga daripada Melaka and Miss Jiva daripada Penang. Dua-dua daripada negeri yang berbeza, tetapi disebabkan program ini mereka disatukan dan merupakan kawan lah di sini. Okay, so soalan pertama daripada saya nak tanya, okay. Apakah yang sekarang ni adik-adik tengah buat sekarang ni? So kita orang nak tahu ni, viewers nak tahu apa yang terjadi sekarang kat Malaysia Japan Futures Dialogue ni. Boleh ceritakan sikit tak? Okay, so saya berikan mic kepada Miss Durga.
Hello everyone. So basically apa yang tengah berlaku dekat sekarang ialah disebabkan COVID-19 ni banyak problem yang kita tengah face sekarang dari segi education, business, tourism and everything. So sekarang kita tengah bincang dengan Japan, country, a different country about how we facing this kind of problems, and we are discussing to them, we are giving them some ideas about how they can improve their problems they are facing, because both of the countries are facing the same problems in same categories and industries. So that's why saya rasa conference ni kita boleh improvekan, kita boleh ambil idea daripada dia orang, and kita pun boleh bagi idea dekat dia orang tentang apa yang kita boleh buat untuk mengatasi problem-problem ini disebabkan oleh COVID-19. So that's all.
Okay, thank you Miss Durga. What a very orang kata fascinating information dari dia. So for Miss Jiva, pun nak kita orang pun nak tahu you punya respon, apa you experience panjang dalam program ni. Okay.
Okay, first, I would like to thank this Ailey to give me this great opportunity to communicate with this gentlemen and gentlewomen from Japan. This is the most wonderful experience for me in my life. So now in my group, we are discussing about the traveling, the tourism and the business problem which we are having in Japan and also in our country. So I would gain lots of knowledges from them, from the Japan students and from the Japan's future leader schools, and also from us. There are lots of problems we are facing now in our country as well. In our tourism, our arts and culture and the tourism minister, Dato Sri Nancy Shukri, has been declared that over 45 billion ringgit Malaysia we have been losses. Yes, from this pandemic of this COVID-19. So, yes, that's all. This is a great, I'm gaining a great experience and also lots of knowledges from this as well. And also, we will sharing about what, and I also gain knowledge that what are the problems, especially facing by the Japanese in the domestic and also around the world. Okay, so that's it. Thank you.
Very good, informative sharing, okay, and facts, very good. Selalu tengok news ya? Okay, very good. Inilah future leaders kita untuk hari ini. So, one last thing, saya nak tanya, boleh tak adik-adik berikan your messages, okay, to other youth in Malaysia lah, boleh, khususnya in Malaysia, but secara umumnya seluruh dunia lah, boleh? You punya message. What do you want to say to them lah? Nasihat for the future generation. Okay, boleh? Boleh. So, siapa nak start dulu? Okay.
Okay, for this future generation, I'm not older than you, but I'm just a little bit experienced than you from this program. This iLead is the most wonderful program that I've get in my life as well, because they gave me lots of knowledges and experience. I gain a lot from them. This is the most and wonderful opportunity that the iLead gave me. And also the future leaders, you guys as well, you have to perform and also you have to think mature in every perspective in your lives. Think every way, in the politic way, economy and social. Our country is the most important factor in our life. So we have to protect our country. We have to think mature to face all the problems that we are having, because not only the people, we have to also think some of the ways to ensure about the political problems, the economic problems and the social problems that are around our country. So we are the one who going to be the future leaders in the future. So think mature, everybody, and also don't miss every and each opportunity which your teacher giving in your school, because just grab it because that is the most wonderful thing you are having. Because why I'm standing here is because I have the bravery in me, the confidence in me. When my teacher asked me to grab this opportunity, I just grab it and I just do it. What the information are coming from my brain and my mouth, I just declare it. I just talk what is going on in my mind. So that is the thing which makes me even more confident and brave. And now I'm standing here communicating with this Japan gentlemen and women from Japan Future Leader School. So that's all. That's it. That's from one of the piece of cake. It's just a piece of cake for everyone. Yes, it's just it's just a piece of cake. So good luck for everybody. Good luck for every future leaders. So don't miss it, and don't miss any opportunity that iLead is giving you in the future. So that's all. Thank you so much.
Basically, she have talked everything that I want to talk. Okay. The simple thing that I want to say is, future generation, like the youths, is the power of the country. You know, because the youths, they have a lot of powers. They have a lot of things to think and to to communicate with others. They can communicate easily if they have the good practice. So this type of program, it will help you to improve your communication skills. Like the Japans, they can speak a fluent English. If we compare to a Malaysian, we still can speak a fluent English, but we compare to the other country, it's like a slow English for us. So we can improve our English communication, and we can improve our style of communication with others. And not only that, as a what you will say that as a future generation, we should also always aware about what is happening around us. We can't just be in social media. I know everyone is using the social media, but it's not in a good way. So a small advice for me is, if you're using the social media, be aware with what is happening around you. Okay, because like this COVID-19, most of us, we don't know what kind of problem we are facing now about the COVID-19. Not only this COVID-19, in future there will be a lot of problems that we may face. So we can't just expect from the leaders, from the ministry to help us. We should also think with new outcomes to how we can help our country, because we are staying in country, we have our own responsibility to serve this country. Not like you have to be a policeman or army to serve this country, not like that. It's just a simple thing. You have to think what type of problems is coming out in future generation or now, and you should think what is the way to overcome these problems. And you can find a source to communicate with others, to tell them the problem. When we are, as a future leaders, when we are talking in front of someone confidently, it will improve the other person's communication. Like, it will improve other person's confident level. Like, okay, we are in same age, and I can talk like this, so they also can do the same thing, right? So it's like a confident boost for them. So I feel like, if you are a youth, so just act like a youth and just go for it. What you get, you just grab it. Like, as my friends say, what you get, you just grab it, and you just show what you can do it. Okay, don't be scared. Scared is like an enemy for us. Okay, so just be brave and go on with what is going on. Okay, that's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Miss Durga and Miss Jiva. Okay, can we give love to the viewers? Love? Okay. Love to Eileen and MFLS. Bye. Okay, thank you.
すいません、4組と5組の方は、今ブレイクアウトを振ったので、そっちに入っていただくようにお願いします。4組5組の方、今ブレイクアウトを送ったので、そこに入っていただくようにお願いします。もしブレイクアウト来てない人いたらちょっと教えてください。 4組と5組の方はブレイクアウトを送ったので、そちらの部屋に移動するようにお願いします。4組5組の方はブレイクアウトを送ったので、そっちの部屋に移動するようにお願いします。
Okay, ready? salam sejahtera. So hari ini lagi sekali saya bersama one of the alumni of MFLS, Mr. Jack from Melaka. Okay, how are you, Jack?
I'm fine, thank you, Pralis.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so Jack, nak tanya orang kata sedikit question before we go further with other question lah. So, apa yang experience you sepanjang COVID-19 yang kita PKP 3 bulan kan? 3 bulan ya? So, apa yang you experience sepanjang waktu di rumah tu, sewaktu PKP?
Okay, dalam tempoh PKP ini, memang bermasalah lah untuk semua orang sebab banyak limit. Sebab government kita banyak limit untuk mengutamakan kesihatan dan keselamatan semua rakyat dalam Malaysia. So it's better before the PKP for 3 months because the COVID-19 will the limit of the spread of the COVID-19 to the others peoples. So how we do in the PKP, we know that how important to take care of our self-help, and then the government has spread the informations, all the knowledge about the COVID-19, such as we have to wear our face mask, frequently use the hand sanitizers, and then have to check in with using the My Sejahtera app applications before we enter a premise or a building before to ensure that all of the people are safety for the anytime.
Okay, Jack, thank you. Okay, so my next question is, apa yang you dah experience during the conference dengan pihak Jepun? Apa yang you dah buat, so kita orang viewers nak tahulah apa yang you dah orang kata buat tadi, bincang tentang apa, and then you punya group dapat topik apa, semua tu boleh share dengan kita orang.
Okay, in my group, I get a topic of the educations in awareness of the COVID-19 lah. So when I was communicate with the Japan students of the alumni of JFLS, Japan Future Leader Schools, and then I know that how the government of the Japan take action for the further action to limit their students, how they took the actions for their educations, macam mana government Japan tu untuk memberi ajaran kepada pelajar alumni dalam online, macam online class ke apa-apalah, pun dapat knowledge yang barulah daripada mereka.
Okay, my last question for you, Mr. Jack. Okay, what do you think about your new friends from Japan?
Tidak dapat dinafikan, they are very friendly from we all. Even though we can't understand or hear clearly from them, but we still can be communicate with them lah. This is the way to improve ourselves lah. Okay, how we know that kita boleh dapat information banyak daripada Japan mereka. How, and then this activity I think is good because of we can improve the kita orang cakap sisatulasi lah, okay, antara negara dengan negara lah, harmoni antara Malaysia dengan Japan. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jack. So Mr. Jack from Melaka, right? Okay, thank you so much and good luck for your future. Okay, okay, bye bye. Thank you. please finalize your discussion for the presentation of findings for 1 minute only. Okay, the conference microphone will be off now, right now. So, yeah. Okay. Okay, for the upcoming session, we will conduct a group discussion to cover the theme of this program entitled How Future Generation Could Change the Society in Post-COVID-19 World. So I would like to invite our first speaker from Group Economy, Malaysia, Muhammad Danish Putra bin Awang Alik, to present his presentation.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good morning. Can you hear me? Very loud and clear. Thank you. So, how COVID-19 affect the future generations in the economic sector? We discussed about how COVID-19 impact the country in terms of economy. As we may know, the COVID-19 comes to Malaysia on the Malaysian shores on 25 January 2020. A month later, in February, case numbers inch up to 22 positive cases. By mid-March, as we may know, the cases surge up a lot. Thus, in response, the Malaysian government and authorities issued a movement control order. Businesses and services deemed to be non-essential were shut down. Interstate travel was curtailed. Public sporting, religious events and gatherings were cancelled. As of today, there are around 10,000 cases of COVID-19. Thus, we should know that as an effect of the movement control order introduced by the government, it definitely affects businesses all over the country. So, there are many businesses become insolvent, individuals become bankrupt, making it mass unemployment happen. On the second thing that we discussed just now, how to fight unemployment in the future. So we must focus in two stakeholders. The first one, those who have initial budget, and the second one, those who do not have initial budget. For those who have budget, maybe they can involve themselves in gig economy, such as GrabFood or Foodpanda. Or maybe they can involve themselves in dropship, reselling items, buying things from maybe Lazada, and then they resell it for a bit high markup price. For those who do not have an initial budget, the government must give regulated economic stimulus to boost the economy. Why? Because it must protect the business and the government interests. For those who do not have budget too, they can also involve themselves in streaming. As we may know, many gamers, many YouTubers are playing games, doing live streams. And in Facebook, like example, when we do live streams, the viewers can send stars. Actually, the stars has a value in the money. So the streamers can make an income out of it. And the last one, how to fight the economic disparity. The first point is through education. What do I mean by education? So the government can do an initiative to invite those who are homeless, who are poor, to go through vocational training. Skills such as carpenting, foreman, and many more works involving skills can be sharpened up. Thus, those who are poor or homeless can make a business out of it, giving them the income. Because the poor and the homeless cannot hope for the government to give them money all the time. They must have their own stable income in the future. The second point is involving them in entrepreneurship. Okay, as we may know, there is a problem here. Some people have a capital to start their business. However, we must know that there are some people who are unfortunate to not have anything to start in business. So my solution is the government must help those who do not have capital to start their businesses by giving a starter-up capital. However, they must attend financing management course to avoid loss and mismanagement of funds. With all that, I've been sharing the points. With that, thank you.
Thank you very much for the informative presentation from Economy Group Malaysia representative. Now, I would like to invite our second speaker from Group Economy Japan to deliver his or her presentation.
Hello? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Miss.
Okay, selamat pagi. I'm Miyuki Yamada from Nagoya International High School, and I would like to talk about what our group discussed earlier about economy including disparities. So, we were given 2 questions from the moderator. First, we talked about how the COVID-19 pandemic impacted both countries, Malaysia and Japan. Well, there were opinions that since the pandemic occurred, many shops and stores have been closed because there were little customers, and since almost all countries have been locked down in quarantine time, it affected the economy, especially the tourism, for example, like hotels. And from the Japanese side, there were an opinion saying a lot of people from foreign countries has decreased since the movement of the people from countries has completely stopped, and shops, especially the local shops, are having trouble since there were no income. And the second question that we discussed was how we can tackle the problem in the post-COVID society with an unemployment rate being decreased. Well, we separated the group in 2 with only the Malaysian side and the Japanese side. And from our group, we had the opinion saying the Japanese government has already moved with this problem and it has been solved little by little. Yes. Well, it was a pity that we didn't have enough time to discuss about the problem deeply, but it was fun and very splendid to have interactions over countries using internet online. Thank you for giving us such a wonderful time to discuss the problems. Thank you. Terima kasih.
Thank you, sama-sama, arigato. Thank you very much for the impressive presentation from Economy Group, Japan. Next, I would like to invite our speaker from Group Business Malaysia, Mr. Ahmad Kushairi bin Nur Azli Sham, to deliver his presentation.
As well, the urban area or the city area, the cases are relatively high compared to the rural area. Yeah, so like from at the Tokyo itself, they have hundreds of deaths per day due to their high capacity of citizen. Okay, so the next thing that we have discussed is that how COVID-19 pandemic has impacted businesses. Okay, so as we all can see, Malaysia and Japan itself, we both are the countries that our economy depended on tourism. Yeah, so from this COVID-19 pandemic, we can see that our economy are very badly impacted because the businesses in tourism itself has impacted badly. Okay, there are one time that Malaysia we have to it's not lockdown. It's like we have to stay at home for a quite long period of time, and at that moment, our country tourism, especially domestic tourism, are completely damaged. Yeah, and the second question is about what can we do to prevent or to overcome this problem, especially as between the Asian countries, right? So there is this what we got from the Japan representative that they suggested that we can make some sort of crowdfunding, because between the Japanese themselves, they collected like some money. So you can, if you have an extra money, you can donate to any city, and maybe then the city will delegate the money to those who are in need. Yeah, maybe what if we, as the world, every country in this world, we come together and we create a foundation to collect money, and then we distribute the money to the countries that need it the most, who have the most impacted economy, and for those countries who have been struggling in terms of to overcome this pandemic. And next, my team from the business from Malaysia, we have suggested that we could make virtual tourism. Virtual tourism is a new concept of tourism, but it implies new technology, such as VR. Okay, so in this new concept, we can actually virtually go to a country by using like a VR headset. Okay, so if you can imagine, we are in Malaysia, but inside the VR headset, we can travel to the city of Tokyo. And if you can imply new technologies such as a glove that can give us senses to what are we touching, then it will be better. Okay? Yeah, that is all from us, Team Business from Malaysia. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the splendid presentation, Mr. Kushairi. Next, I would like to invite our speaker from Group Business Japan to deliver his or her presentation.
Hello everyone, can you hear me?
Yes, hi.
Hi. The main point of the e-tourism is that we are using the virtual headset, so that even though we cannot touch what we are seeing, we we are actually getting the feel of that we are actually in the country that we are visiting. And some of the economies, such as like restaurants and other amusement park and stuff, were still operating during the lockdown. However, the impacts were so big that we have to think about the new business way that we can incorporate with this COVID-19. As the Malaysia representative said, we are focused on the technology we have to gather around all around the world into the virtual world instead of reality. And that is that we are hoping that that will be the new normal for us for right now. But one of the Japanese teacher who are being the homeroom teacher for us in the Japan side said that obviously the best way is that we are physically going to the world and being as a tourist to go and visit. But however, due to this pandemic, we are still not allowed. So one of the other things we thought is that, as Malaysia representative said, using some crowdfunding will be the best way to gather money in order to help with the owners of restaurants, amusement park, and tourism businesses. Since in Japan we do have similar system, we already hearing similar stuff about crowdfunding that is going pretty well recently. And I'm hoping that the Malaysia country will be also putting more effort into crowdfunding, and we are hoping that we can get together physically in the future. And that is the end of our discussion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for the brilliant presentation from Business Group Japan representative. Now I would like to invite speaker from Group Education Malaysia, Ms. Anissa Batrisha binti Abdul Rashid, to deliver her presentation.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning I would like to bid to everyone. So I would like to conclude the discussion for the education part. As we, from the discussion, we realized that there are so much similarities between the problems and that occur in education between both countries. For instance, in the urban areas, you do have strong internet connection. People are most likely more privileged to gain access or to buy certain technologies that would ease education for themselves. But however, in the rural areas, it is quite hard for people to access good internet connection, and it's also hard for people, and they are a bit underprivileged or not privileged enough to own certain technologies such as laptops and modern handphones. We realize that this problem has been solved in different ways. However, in both countries, say in Malaysia, we decide to have online classes for the urban areas, whereas in rural areas, we do have face-to-face classes with standards of procedure, SOP. However, in Japan, they do not. We can learn from each other. For instance, how Malaysia can learn from the Japanese, because in the Japanese, the initiative is to give. Well, this is what we got from the discussion, which is to give $1,000 per person, and that's all. But however, in Malaysia, we do have different types of help from the government, be it in monetary or be it in initiatives that are not money-based. So we believe that we can learn from the country that the first solution is to provide. We have to provide good internet connection. We have to provide technology for each other, for the students, especially students who are underprivileged, and we have to provide connection that is good, because even if you have internet connection, if the internet connection is not strong enough, it won't be much useful. And the second solution from providing would be to teach, because once you have provided all these three basic needs in education, we believe that people nowadays, especially teachers, some of them, they do not really understand how to conduct online classes, how to do online presentations, how to do online examinations. And we think that it is very much needed that after providing these three necessities, which is good internet connection, internet generally, and the technology to access this internet, we should provide basic computing skills from the age of primary school, because this is going to allow the students to be good and to have very good computing literacy, which would ease online classes in the future. We also discussed what if we experience another pandemic in the future, which is very concerning to us. We think that this COVID-19 is already a basic, what we do in the facing COVID-19 is already a basic step for us to see the problem and just build our building blocks from there. We can improve from there. And so we believe that in the next pandemic, we are already ready to provide better education for these children, because we already experienced this one now. We believe that this pandemic is already a motivating factor to tell the government, to tell the people of authorities that education is very important and we should put this forward, and we should prioritize this matter. We really had a good discussion with the Japanese students. We really enjoyed it, and it was very insightful to us. Thank you.
Terima kasih for the knowledgeable presentation from Education Group Malaysia representative. I would like to invite speaker from Group Education Japan to deliver his or her presentation.
Hello everyone.
Hello, hi, konnichiwa.
Hi, my name is Meimu Kakami, and I'd like to share something like we discussed in the education group. And our group discussed what we need, that is we should prepare for the next pandemic. COVID-19 had a brought dangerous time for public education. However, during the COVID pandemic, Malaysia took measure to educate the government to distribute some technological devices. So most of the people have technological devices, but there are many technological issues. For example, teacher couldn't use the devices correctly, or so to conclude this discussion, we should know how to successfully and more efficiently to do online education. And from our perspective, we think that compared to Japan, Malaysia took more measure to the education, because in Japan we have some measures, for example distributing money and some online lessons, and we change it, but these online lessons are mainly at private school or kind of special school, and schools in cities. So there's some educational gap between public school and but I said, during the pandemic in Malaysia, there was free Wi-Fi and government distributing technological devices. So so we are now doing some online mainly for events that we are having a large number of the people. But I hope someday we could gather physically. And thank you for the great time we had, marvelous discussion together. Thank you.
Okay, arigato. Thank you very much for the informative presentation from Education Group Japan representative. Next, I would like to invite speaker from Group Communication Malaysia, Ms. Nur Hidayah binti Rostam, to deliver her presentation.
Hi, good morning. Konnichiwa. My name is Nur Hidayah Binti Rostam. I'm the representative of the communication group. So I'll just jump into our discussion. So firstly, our discussion we're basing our discussion on three major questions. That is, first, how communication changed throughout this COVID-19 and post-COVID-19. The next one is how do we cope with these changes? And the last one is how can we differentiate between fake news and reliable news, and what sources should we use? So for the first question, we totally agree that COVID-19 and post-COVID-19 situation is actually a tool for IT literacy enhancement. That is, for example, nowadays we use Zoom, we use Meet for online platform for meeting. Because before this, some of us don't even realize that we can have meeting through online. So it has become a realization between human that we should advance to another stage of technology advancement. But in contrast, we do have certain problems with this current situation. That is, people take things for granted. For example, if I am a student, I have online class, so I think I can go for shopping. At the same time, I can enter my online class with my phone. So it is something that should not be done, but it can be done because we can do this. We can do that. We don't have to be present physically in class. So that is in concern of moral ethics. So how do we cope with this? The first one is, in this dire situation, we actually have to have mutual understanding between people. We want to be respected, so we treat others with respect. Treat others as what we want to be treated, and then we don't have to take things for granted. We have to think for the greater good, for the greater future. We want respect, so treat people with respect. And another thing that we highlighted was the problem of communication, and it was the problem of internet connection within the disparity between the urban and rural areas. But then in Malaysia, we have, the government has already provided the students with the Yes Wi-Fi, that is 50 gigabyte per month for them to have a better online learning experience. And lastly, how can we differentiate between fake news and reliable news? We got a lot of discussion. We had quite a long time for discussion about this one. So in Malaysia, we have National Security Force Telegram Group, that is Majlis Keselamatan Negara, that deliver us with accurate information, and they can validate whether the source is good or not, the source is true or not. So, and the next one is, we think that everyone should play a role in this dire situation. For example, reporters need to deliver accurate and relevant information that people wanted to know, instead of giving them what will sell the newspaper. We need to know what we should know instead of what they want to give us so that newspaper will be sold. And another thing is netizen. We ourselves, we have to lodge reports. We have to take the courage, we have to take the step to lodge the report if there are things that are going viral and things that are not validated. So we have to take charge in this. And lastly, we cannot easily trust headline, because as I said before, newspapers tend to put headlines that will sell it. So we need to actually after you read the headline, you need to read the news as it is, so that there's no misconception that occur there. So in conclusion, there's a lot of pros and contras in this situation, but we believe that people should learn to adapt in this current situation, so that instead of winning without solution, we have to learn how to make things better and how to find solution out of this. And that's all from me. Arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Nur Hidayah. What a good advice to all of us. Finally, I would like to invite speaker from Group Communication Japan to deliver his or her presentation.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. We can hear you. Hello.
Hi, hello, I'm Nina Baba. We discuss about communication. So regarding how communication changed under the COVID-19 outbreak, there are some opinions that since we're only able to meet online, not face-to-face, we are less close to each other and people can turn off cameras and do other things on the other side of the screen. But it's now possible to connect globally more than before. And many people were able to learn correct rules and morals when using the internet and communicating with others online. In addition, during the pandemic, there has been many fake news. Information on social media is hard to tell where the source is from. News on TV can be reliable, but there are some opinions saying we can't rely on TV 100% because there is bias. In Malaysia, there is a website made by the government to share what is fake news. We also came to a conclusion that it would be better to be taught at the younger age to determine fake news on social media. We were able to share valuable opinions during the dialogue, and it was very fun. Terima kasih.
Thank you to our presenter, and thank you everyone for attending the Malaysia-Japan Future Leaders Dialogue. Now, we have come to the end of the program. I hope all participants enjoy the discussion that we have today. May the knowledge that we gain from this dialogue benefit the communication both in Malaysia and Japan. The collaboration between alumni MFLS and JFLS will not stop here, and we wish to explore the opportunities and collaborate further in the next future. To end this session, we, from the Ministry of Youth and Sports Malaysia, would like to express our gratitude for the endless support and commitment from JFLS towards the success of MFLS program that we have conducted since 2019. This session today would not be a successful one without you. With that, we thank you, arigato, and terima kasih.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
And then, if possible, we would like to have a group photo session. Right now.
Okay, that would be nice.
Is that okay?
Okay, okay.
Yes.
Group photo session?
So, Mr. Miratsu-san? Yes.
Yes.
Miratsu. No. Why don't you introduce yourself and then let's start the group photo.
Hello everyone.
Rin-san.
My name is Rin. I will take group photo. Let me explain.そうですね。マレーシアの方々が多分移動してきてくれるので、移動してきたら写真撮るようにします。Whenever you get ready, please let us know so that we can take group photo.
Currently arranging for the session photo group.
Thank you.
We will let you know if you are ready for the photo shoot.
Oh.
Okay?